The winter was coming, and getting food became an acute problem. Sam starved all the time, the same as everybody else. There was no food in the ghetto. However, it was possible to find some food in the dumpsters outside it. Germans didn't allow Jews to leave the ghetto without permission, rather, they only gave permission to people who were sent to work outside, and there weren't too many jobs available. Permits were only granted to those who were strong enough to work, while all others were condemned to die from starvation. People who tried to get outside without a permit risked being caught and shot to death, and children were more successful at it than adults. It was needless to ask Belarusians or Russians for help. Neither pity for Jews, especially taking into consideration that they also struggled to find food. Jews had to sew a yellow six-angled star on their clothes, so it was easy to see them among the others. Aunt Clara mastered sewing a yellow star in such a way that, if necessary, Sam could pull a string and remove the star from his jacket. He used this technique when he got outside the ghetto through different gaps. Only Uncle Aaron and Sam were able to bring some food to the family. Sometimes, Uncle Aaron brought food that looked like it was from a store. Nobody knew where he got it, and he kept it a secret. Later, the family found out that he got it from guerrillas. Sam knew a few secret holes in a ghetto wall, so he could get outside the ghetto and dig out something edible in a garbage heap. And sometimes, it was all the family would eat that day. Sometimes, other boys took away the food he found. Jewish and Gentile children used their strength to rob the weaker kids. Sometimes, Sam ran away from robbers, but most of the time they beat him up and took away all he had. It was hard to escape from kids. Adults also took advantage of children, though it was easier to get away from adults. Sam either started crying or jumped into a little opening in a wall where they couldn't reach him. Once, Sam overheard an argument between Uncle Aaron and Aunt Clara. "And I'm telling you, I don't even know if they'll let me stay with them. I can't ask them to take a baby. He is not a baby. He is a big boy, and I'm not leaving him here." "Well, you are not taking him with you. And this is the end of the conversation. He's going to be just fine here alone. He would be better off without us. Look at him. Sometimes, he is the only one who can feed the whole family." "Exactly. And you want to leave him here alone. That's enough. Your voice doesn't count," he yelled at her, and she cried. Uncle Aaron planned to run away from the ghetto to the guerrillas, leaving Sam behind. Sam heard these kinds of conversations several times, and every time Uncle Aaron would glance at him with anger. Being afraid of treason, guerrillas were very careful with newcomers. They didn't accept everyone because they didn't have enough food to feed everybody, and they also needed fighters. Therefore, women and children were not welcome. Uncle Aaron planned to go there alone to try to fit in and bring his family to the guerrillas. He also planned to kill a couple of Germans to prove his devotion to the guerrillas, as well as his ability to fight. It was harvest time. Uncle Aaron contacted the police again. People emptied the potato fields that are near the city. "If you send a truck with a couple of guards and a couple of Jews to the potato field farther away, we can fill the truck with potatoes for the Germans." A big German truck with 2 German guards, a German driver, and 4 starving but still strong Jews, including Uncle Aaron, went to the field. The field was about 25 kilometers away from the city. When they arrived, the Germans sent the Jews to work. 2 Jews dug potatoes while another 2 stalked them into the truck. The Germans watched them for some time, but then got bored and tired, and decided to enjoy themselves. They prepared a picnic, made a fire, and fried some potatoes. At 5 in the afternoon, the Germans permitted the Jews to take a break. The Jews also made a fire, baked some potatoes, ate, and rested. However, the Germans didn't let the Jews rest for too long, and in about 40 minutes, ordered them to continue working. The Jews put the fire out. 2 of them headed to the field empty-handed, while the other 2 followed them with shovels on their shoulders. They walked on the trail that took them right next to the Germans, who lazily sat by the warm fire after the large meal that filled their stomachs. Their machine guns lay on the ground, right next to them. The first 2 empty-handed men walked slowly passing by the Germans. The other 2 came closer and suddenly attacked the Germans, brandishing the shovels and cracking their heads. The next moment, they had already run to the truck, where the German driver rested. He tried to run away, but was too late. He prayed, calling for his mother, but it didn't help him. They strangled him with their bare hands. The Jews stripped the dead Germans, buried them, hid the truck in the forest, then dressed in the German uniforms and went looking for the guerrillas. They had a week to find the guerrillas and rescue their families from the ghetto. They knew that within a week the Germans would start looking for the truck and would come after their families. Everything went smoothly. They found the guerrillas, and the German uniforms that they wore proved how many Germans they had killed and that they could be trusted. They also brought potatoes and the truck filled with gas. That was more than enough to be accepted into the guerrillas' team. 3 days later, a courier agent came to Aunt Clara's house. It was a 13-year-old Jewish girl. She was very thin and looked sick. She didn't have proper warm clothes for the freezing weather and was cold, constantly covering herself tighter into her ripped kerchief. She came with an assignment to bring Aunt Clara, Rena, a ghetto doctor and a nurse to the guerrillas. The doctor and the nurse came to Aunt Clara's house to discuss the escape from the ghetto. "I was ordered to lead 4 of you to the guerrillas," the girl said, "and we have to bring medical supplies and medications." "What about the boy?" Aunt Clara asked. "I was ordered to bring only 4 people," the girl said firmly. "Well, we'll make it 5 then," Aunt Clara insisted. "I'm in charge of the operation," the thin girl answered forcefully. "I'll take only the people that I named." "In that case, I'm not going. I'm not leaving him here alone." Aunt Clara was adamant. "Also, keep in mind that if I don't come with you, they will punish you for not bringing me to them," she threatened. The girl started to cry, "Please. They told me, if I bring more people, they'd shoot me." Everybody got emotional. "Just leave the boy here, what's the matter with you?" the nurse yelled. "He is an orphan. I'm the only one he has. He'll die without me," Aunt Clara yelled back. "There are too many orphans. Take all of them then. If you were a mother, you wouldn't say so." "I was. My baby died. Why do I care?" "You don't care about my boy. He is not your boy. He is nobody's boy." "Stop that," the doctor shouted, but they fought non-stop. "I said shut your mouths, you two. I said that I'm not going without him." Aunt Clara didn't give up. "Enough," the doctor took charge, and everybody got quiet. "We'll take the boy with us." "But," the girl was about to argue again. "I said he is coming with us." We'll talk to the commander and confirm that it wasn't your fault. We'll confirm that we all refused to go without the boy." The doctor was a very respectful man, so the girl didn't have enough guts to argue with him and cried in fear. They planned to escape from the ghetto in the morning and discussed the roads they had to take and the time and place they had to meet after the escape. "Take this road," the girl instructed Sam, showing him a map. "It's not patrolled very often." "I don't like that road," he replied. "It's the poorest area of the city. The natives hate Jews the most there. It will be very early in the morning. Everybody will most likely still be sleeping." Sam took some of his clothes that were partially ripped and the socks, the ones that his parents bought on the first day of the war, the only thing that he had from his parents. He never wore them and called them "my mom's socks." Aunt Clara sewed a special jacket for Sam with a lot of different pockets all around it. She put medications, surgical instruments, and different medical supplies into them. Sam put the jacket on and she wrapped him in bandages. Then, Sam put his regular dirty clothes on top of all that and looked like a ball. When the first rays of light touched the sky, they left the ghetto, taking different roads, so, in case somebody got caught, all the others would survive. Only Aunt Clara and Rena went together. Sam carried almost all the medications and medical supplies. The nurse carried only some bandages, and the doctor carried some surgical instruments that they couldn't fit into Sam's pockets. The boy took the biggest risk because he had all the proof that he was going to the guerrillas. If he were caught, the Germans would tear him apart.